Hey Guitar Fam, how's it going? It's Nate here, and in this video I want to give you 5 tips for success with fingerstyle guitar that I wish someone would have shared with me 20 years ago, but I digress. So if you want to learn, classical, or if you want to do more pattern-based things, or if you want to do like bass on bottom, melody on top, your own solo fingerstyle arrangements. Or if you want to go more hardcore like Travis picking. All of these tips are going to apply directly to all of those kind of subgenres of fingerstyle. Before we get into this, I just want to let you know that the Fingerstyle Masterclass is out right now on guitarfam.com. So if you've been wanting to get into fingerstyle, or you feel like you've hit a plateau with your playing, go check it out. The first module is completely complimentary for everyone, so everyone can participate and get started regardless of your situation, or you can invest in the whole course too. Now, let's get into this. Number 1. Nail your foundations, and what I mean by that is really take the time to get your basic technique with your picking hand down. That can go a long way in helping you learn songs faster and progress faster. And by that, I mean take some time to really nail your technique and really put some thought into it. And the Fingerstyle Masterclass goes into this in detail, but I want to give you a couple of tips. Sorry, there's a lot of airplanes up today. I want to give you a couple tips right here that you can apply immediately to your fingerstyle, and you'll see immediate improvement. The first thing is relax. Really have a neutral posture when you go to the guitar, when you bring a hand to the guitar, and realize that there are 3 basic ways that you can choose to play with fingerstyle guitar. The first one is the classical method, and that's when I float my hand like this, and nothing is touching the guitar, right? Not my pinky, not the palm of my hand, just like that. The second way is when you kind of anchor. I call it the anchored method, is when you anchor your wrist to the bridge of the guitar and use that as kind of a reference point, so you can really memorize where the strings are. And the third way is what I call the folk method, and that's when you put your pinky or your third finger here on top of the guitar and use that as kind of a reference point. So give this exercise a try that I'm about to show you with all 3 of those methods of fingerstyle guitar. Just put your fingers on the top 3 strings here and your thumb on the low E string, and just alternate between thumb and fingers. You can use the classical method, the anchored method, or the folk method, which I'm terrible at because I don't use it. Not really. But try that and just see how accurate you can be with your thumb, hitting that E string every time with the E chord on, and the top 3 strings every time with your 3 fingers, 1, 2, and 3. And this is a great warm-up exercise. It's great for building coordination, accuracy, and dexterity with your right hand. So that's number 1. Don't pass over or think it's not important to get the basic techniques or the basic fundamentals of fingerstyle down. Number 2 is get your thumb under control, and this is a really important one. I remember watching, I think it was a Tommy Emmanuel video, where he said he would take his students' hands and tape them to the top of their guitar for the first, 6 months or a year, and only work on their thumb accuracy, because that's just so important. If you don't have your thumb accuracy down, you're going to be concentrating on it while you have enough to think about with the notes on top of your fingers and with what your fretting hand is doing. So just taking some time, and by time I mean months, weeks, months, even a year, really focusing on the accuracy of your thumb. That'll make all the difference in the world, especially when you're going to learn new songs. So just as a starting point, put an E chord on, for example, get your hand planted on the top 3 strings, and just work on the accuracy of your thumb. I'm using a thumb pick. You don't have to. You can just use, your thumbnail if you like, or the skin on your thumb, doesn't matter. But just go through, see how many times you can hit that E string without missing it, and then add in the A string, E and the A. Then once you feel comfortable with that over a few weeks or a few months, add in the E, A, and D, so you can bounce around with them with no problem. There are lots more exercises for your thumb in the Fingerstyle Masterclass, so go to guitarfam.com, get started with that first module to get the ball rolling. Let's go on to number 3. And this is probably the most difficult one to kind of police yourself on or stick to, and that's don't play through your mistakes. There's one surefire way to take something that should take you 3 months and stretch it out to 6 months or a year, and that's to ignore your mistakes. Thankfully, there's one really easy way, not really the concept is easy. Easy way to make sure that doesn't happen, and that's to practice slowly when you're learning a new song. Like when I'm just now getting to the end of learning Here Comes the Sun. But if I program that in wrong, even just one mistake in that little phrase, and keep repeating it and repeating it, I'm going to program it in wrong, and I'm going to keep repeating that mistake over and over again. I'm never going to play it right. So take your time when you're learning something new, really slow it down. It may feel like it's taking you longer to learn something in the short term, but in the long run, you're going to save a load of time. You're going to shave literally years off of your progress as far as being a fingerstyle guitar player goes and learning new songs. Number 4 is have a plan and stick to it. And this one's kind of multi-layered, so we'll take it from the big bird's eye view to start. If you want to play fingerstyle guitar and blues lead guitar, you're going to have to make a decision on which one you want to focus on. I'm not saying that you can't work on multiple genres of music at the same time, but if you do, your progress is not going to be as fast. So again, I'm not saying don't learn different styles at the same time, but what I am saying is set aside some time that you know you're going to use to just practice fingerstyle so you can make the progress that you want to see. Even below that, or the level kind of below that, if we zoom in on things a little bit, what is going to be your main focus for the next 6 months? Is it going to be getting your thumb in shape for Travis picking? Is it going to be classical guitar? Is it going to be learning new accompaniment patterns if you're a singer and you want to accompany yourself? It's important to focus in and really decide what you want to focus on and learn for the next 6 months to a year. That way you have some laser targeting when you go in with your practice time, and you'll be able to see progress because you're putting in that time on that one specific thing. And you know, all those things are covered: accompaniment patterns, a little bit classical guitar, Travis picking, all those are covered in the Fingerstyle Masterclass. So if you need help getting some direction, you can go there and get that started again. But right now, probably the most important thing for you as far as this number 4 goes is to write down exactly what it is you want to accomplish in the next 6 months and get as specific as you can. Like, I want to focus on fingerstyle, Travis picking, I want to get my thumb in order. Write that down and let us know in the comments below what is your decision that you want to focus on for the next 6 months or so. Number 5 is make learning songs number 1. And this is kind of the overarching, I don't know if it's the biggest one, but it's the one that you're going to run into the most, and it's the one that's going to help you see the most progress with fingerstyle guitar. You can practice all the chords and fingerstyle patterns you want, but if you can't put them in a song, really what good are they? And when you learn a song, you're going to be working on just a host of things all at once. You're going to be working on your fretting hand, chord vocabulary, your dexterity. You're going to be working on getting new patterns down with your picking hand, your dexterity and accuracy with that, your speed, even reading music. All these things all are helped by learning new songs. And I'll give you a really good example of this. It took me months to learn the song Windy and Warm. It's a Doc Watson cover, but during that time, I know, like, my fingerstyle got so much better because I was working on the song. My accuracy, dexterity, speed, strength, all that stuff went up because I was learning this song, That if I would have worked on those individual things all, just on them by themselves, the synergy just wouldn't have been there, and my progress wouldn't have been nearly as good as it was if I'd have learned the song. So one of the best things that you can do is write down a list of songs that you want to learn in the future and let your practice time kind of flow out of there. If you need to work on your dexterity or your thumb accuracy with your picking hand, that's great. Work on that with the goal of getting whatever song you've picked out or whatever song's in the docket for you up to the level, being performance ready, and everything else will just flow from there. So those are 5 big things that have helped me, and I know that fingerstyle guitar can be very challenging and even intimidating at first, but if you have the right plan in place, you can be successful with fingerstyle guitar. And if you need help, head over to guitarfam.com. Again, the Fingerstyle Masterclass is there if you want to invest in the whole course, or you can start the first module for free, and you can even schedule a one-on-one private lesson with me. The first one is complimentary, so there's no risk. I'll be looking forward to meeting you. See you guys later, and let me know in the comments below, what is your goal for fingerstyle guitar for the next 6 months to a year. Bye.